A deep breath. One deep breath is all I took when I started my journey. Last year, on this very month, the last area director we had his name was Ahmed Abdul Wahab. During that time, we didn't know about Corona, or Corona didn't reach us yet in Saudi. And he said, Faisal, I think you should be the area director. And I told him, really? Me? He said, yes. 2 reasons. 1, you're the best man we have to take this job. 2, you're the only man we have who's willing to take this job. And I thought to myself, if no one can do it, then I must do it. And during that adventure I had of thinking of all these plans, and we had all these meetings lined up and all these events, the pandemic hit. To a jungle, it's like a drought. Desertification began to form throughout the entire field of Toastmasters. It spread into our roots like a plague and got into our nerves, halting our movement. And to me, I was a victim. In the very beginning, I was also a victim. The first thing that came to my mind was that online meetings would never work. And as a matter of fact, I believe that online meetings were just a distraction until we get to actual meetings, physical meetings. Because I knew for me, my life and everyone else's life is on a computer. Our work, our enjoyment, our entertainment, even our hobbies, it all became on a computer, in front of a camera, on a virtual platform. I'm a person who's very self-conscious of his surroundings. Very. So even right now, I don't see people, I see a screen. I notice that I'm alone in my room, speaking to a screen, to a microphone, with headphones. But I know the people behind these screens are real. But to me, I don't feel them. There's that feeling of detachment that is gone. And I thought, I'll just wait out the pandemic. That was my choice. Until when I was walking through the desert of Toastmasters, I found a puddle. At that time, that puddle was called Elite KFUPM Toastmasters. And they thought, you know what? Let's just buy the subscription for Zoom and make a meeting. And I thought, all right, I'll join. And in that meeting alone, I was convinced that there is still a future. And just like every desert, when you want water, what do? You dig. From this puddle, I got a shovel and I began digging. And I kept digging and digging. And I realized I'm not strong enough to dig. I'm incapable of digging. I needed a team. Because my objective was to reach a goal, and it's to make a river, an oasis, a place for people to come to, a place for people to come and can speak freely and can enjoy themselves and can learn leadership and public speaking. I put my heart and soul, along with my team, into this. We had our ups and downs. There were many moments when there were disagreements. As you might notice, KFUPM has had multiple clubs in the past, about 3 or 2. Right now, we're only down to 1. And that came from disagreements. That came from struggle. That came from conflicts. We've had good members who were with us for many years, just gave up. They left Toastmasters and the entire desert seeking salvation to rekindle their living standards in other places. But I kept digging. And as I was digging, I wasn't alone. This journey of me being an area director was not a stairway to heaven. It was not a journey through a park. It was a highway through hell. We have done many things to try and get to where we are today. I want to talk about the first member we lost from the XCOM. He was with us for 2 years, worked very hard. And we had even another member who was longer than that, who was one of the oldest members we had, who was with us for about 6 years. Can you imagine 6 years on this platform with us? And he was here even before me. And there were disagreements between me and them. They suggested one thing, and I told them, this suggestion will not work. Because when we thought of digging, they thought about drinking. I told them we cannot drink. And by drinking, they wanted to maintain what we had, multiple clubs, more members, and to build and to maintain the culture of each of these clubs. And I said to him very precisely that we cannot do that. We cannot swim in that luxury when we have nothing but a puddle. And so I told them, if you have any other suggestions that is better than what I can propose, I will accept it 100%. There was nothing. And from that moment, he never showed up again. And it's not really something to be sad about. I am grateful that they were there, because through their contribution, we were able to reach to this. Had they not conflicted with me about this topic, I would have never known what the right decision was. I would have never known that this was where we should have gone or where we should have stayed. But I want to talk about better than the members who left. These are the people who are the spine, the backbone of the club we are today. And they're the ones who stayed. The ones who had splinters from their shovels in their hands, who tried thousands of times to rekindle their enthusiasm for this club and failed, and got back up and failed, and got back up and failed. Everyone here knows them. They're obvious. And we kept digging and digging and digging and digging and digging. And I thought the entire journey that we would die from dehydration. The club would die from dehydration in the river. Until last couple of months. Our shovels has struck a geyser. A geyser that is not hot, but cold. It shot the most nutritious, the most satisfying liquids that's so crystalline clear that just by looking at it, you would feel the thirst fade away. In the entirety of KFUPM Toastmasters history, we are the first club and the only club that has ever reached distinguished Toastmasters status. In the worst of times, we were put in the desert with nothing but shovels and a puddle of water, and we have done what thousands of people, hundreds of people before us tried to do. They've tried so hard to try and get to this one status with bundles of resources, bundles of sustenance, and they were not able to rekindle this. And through the hell that we've been through, and through my journey as a leader, and as a carrier, as a director to my team, the ones who have worked their to the bone to push this club, I thank you all. Because we are Pan Safi Toastmasters and KFUPM. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.